Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another unboxing for Black Rose Wars Rebirth. This is for the stretch goal Kickstarter stuff. I'll eventually link to GameFound, but the stretch goal content from the campaigns. So yeah, this is what's really neat is they put it in one big giant box with 6 mini expansions. So each one kind of like works the same way as the previous like retail expansions do. Same size boxes. They almost all have at least one mage in them. Plus then they have maybe a spell school of cards, or they'll have an avatar, or some other cool mechanic of the game. The box is also referred to as, so we can get this to focus, is ROTAS. Or ROTAS, which is the first name on there. So I don't know, it might be Italian. I'm not sure. I know it's Sador, which is the first one, which is the stretch goal box for the name of the original Black Rose Wars game. So Rebirth is ROTAS. It's kind of fun that it's going in backwards order. So I don't know if we'll get the other ones in there or if they are references to some of the other games or not. But yeah, it's a pretty cool big box. It stores all your things. It would almost have been neat if we would have had another box like this to hold the other campaigns. There are 3 more boxes that were the regular goals. And then, like, with a couple of smaller ones, would have been kind of neat if you just would have been able to, like, slide, like, the Apocalypse box in there and then, you know, like, something else, you know, then, like, one of the other ones. And then have, like, this. You could have had, like this one, like, other expansions, and then, like, even, like, the core set. Yeah, there's a really neat pictures on there. Otherwise, it's just a Black Rose. I don't think there's anything different on the bottom. Nope. So yeah, we'll hop through all 6 of these expansions. There's a picture on the inside, which is really cool. So this is just, I'm gonna flip these all around. And we'll have the 6 of Last Dynasty, Northwings, Antiquities, Once Upon a Time, Silk Road, and Madness. So, let's go ahead and hop into these. Hey everyone, it's Jason, and welcome to Black Rose Wars Rebirth unboxing for Once Upon a Time video part 2. I decided to break it up into 2 parts because all the other ones I had the Avatar in part 2. So we decided to do this one the same, even though part 1 I said we were going to do one long video. So if you didn't check out part 1, we went over the mages, as well as new evocation spells, and some new cosmetic upgrades. Sorry, not cosmetic, new jinx cards. So this one will go over the brand new Avatar as well as the new chain quest. We'll explain how those chain quest cards are and the Skull Throne Room. So let's hop into it. For a ability. Alright, so before we hop into what he does as a Avatar, let's look at our brand new room. So we have a new purple room, which is also a new throne room. This is fun, because almost every game has to have the throne room. We have Skull's throne room. A mage. Obtain your crown, the rose inflicts 1 damage to you. So basically you can go here to steal the crown. Cool. And then if we flip it over, we get the other side. So this is, I think, one of their logos for their company, or an older logo. A little skull symbol, which is really neat. And then we have its activation once it's reborn. It says, as a mage, obtain the crown, and then 1 room away, inflict 3 damage. So nice. So once you get control of it and you rebuild it, now it does damage for you instead of to you. Pretty fun. Having alternate rooms is always a fun aspect. Alright, then let's jump in and look at Haster himself. So for his avatars, like I've said in other videos, go back, watch the base box if you want to know how the avatar cards work. Otherwise, we're just going to read through them, assuming that if you're watching the Kickstarter exclusive stuff, you've already seen enough videos and you understand. His 13 health, does 1 damage, has 3 movement. He has Traumatize, Subdue, and Dominion. So he has his Activate ability. Assign 1 tool to each mage within 0 space. Trauma 3 on each mage. So he is going to have, and I popped one out. His tools, he's going to have 6 signs. So let's go into the book and see exactly how he works. So he has yellow brand tokens. Some effects relate to Haskell assigning yellow brand tokens to the target mage. The yellow brand tokens utilize the follow rule assignment. When a mage is assigned a yellow brand token, they place it on their mage sheet. A mage can have a maximum of 1 yellow brand token assigned to them. That's why we only have 6. A yellow brand token assigned to a mage is considered to be in the lodge. When a yellow brand token is discarded, it goes back to the shared pool. Action: when a mage has a yellow brand token is on their mage card, can use the introspection physical attack. So they gain physical attack action. Mend 6 on a mage. See page 10. We'll see what that does. Move up to 1 space, place 2 instability in a square, and discard the tool. Interesting. So he's gonna brand you. You get to do some stuff. Move and place some instability. Cool. So Haskell's skills, he has Subdue. On step 2 of the cleanup phase, Haskell obtains 1 trophy for each mage with a tool on it. Places on Haskell's avatar slot instead of the event board of the slot dedicated to the Black Rose. Okay, so they're going specifically on him, not to the Black Rose. Dominion, which they all have, he's placed in a cell, he doesn't activate and goes to the Black Rose room. We just Traumatize. Some of Haskell's command keys feature Trauma N and Mend N, where N is a number. Trauma N. The mage targeted by a trauma effect places number of cubes from their pool on Haskell's avatar cards. These cannot be used by the owner. So basically, he's stealing your cubes. And Mend, target mage on a Mend effect may take any of their cubes from Haskell's avatar card, place them in their own pool. For each effect the mage cannot regain his effect, the rose inflicts 1 damage. Interesting. So, with his ability, he's going to place a tool on you, alright, and then he's going to assign 3 damage, or take 3 of your cubes away, whenever he activates. Then what you'll do is, you'll use the inspection ability, to mend to mend 6, move 1, place in his spell, and discard it. So you gotta use this to basically get your cubes back. But the interesting part about it is, for each cube you cannot regain to this effect, it inflicts 1 damage on you. So he deals 3 damage to you. You gotta hope he finds some other way to inflict trauma on you to get 6 cubes before you mend to get rid of that. Otherwise, you're gonna take 3 damage. But then he's gonna have abilities that do extra damage to you for having that token, as well as his thing. He's gonna get a trophy of each mage as long as they have a thing assigned. So basically, you want to get rid of it. So he's trying to basically force you to take damage to keep them tools off of you. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, then he has his priorities. So priority 1, Haskell chooses a target. The mage in the room with the most mages, the room with the most models, and then the room with the most instability. Or chooses the room with the most tools, the room with the most mages, the room with the most models, and this third one, the mage with the fewest tools, the mage with the most roses, most damage. So the first one is just trying to target most of whatever's there. The second one he wants to target the tools first, and then the most guys there. So you do damage probably to guys with tools. And the last one he wants to target a mage that has the fewest, because he probably wants to give them one. Cool. Alright, let's hop into his deck. Alright, so here's Haskell's deck. Then, like always, sorted by the moons, and then we'll kind of skim through them as they start becoming a lot of the same effects. So his action is move towards the Black Rose room. He has a spell. It says Trauma 5. Okay, so there we go. Right there, we're going to get a bunch of extra traumas. On each mage, 2 spaces from the target. Assigns a tool to each mage, 1 from the target. Bleeding. Priority 1 moves towards a room. His spell is Trauma 3 on each mage, anywhere. Inflicts 2 damage on each mage and assigns a tool to them. A mage is 1 space away. Pause for reflection. Priority 3 moves towards a mage. Prior to 3, activate. Drawing resolve 1 quest of the current move, draw another card. Cosmic Sorrow. Inflicts 1 damage to each mage who has a tool assigned. Inflicts 3 damage to each mage who does not have a tool assigned. So there, in this one, having it is better than not having one. And then its action is to move towards a room. Surreal Scream, move towards a mage. Prior to 3, action. Each mage within 2 spaces assigned a tool gains 1 rose and you draw an extra card. Series of Misfortunes. Trauma 3 on each mage. Start the first player following turn order. Each mage who has a tool assigned inflicts 2 damage to each mage who does not have an assigned tool. And he moves towards the Black Rose room. Magic in the Woods, moves towards a room. Places 3 instability. Trauma 3 on each mage 1 space. Draw and resolve a quest from the current moon. Cosmic Litany, moves towards a room. Trauma 3 on each mage 2 spaces from the target. Assign a tool to 1 from the target, and each mage who has a tool assigned gains 1 rose. Roads of Carcosa. Target the invocation with the highest attack value in the lodge. It activates under the control of the Black Rose and +2 attack. Oh, that's mean. And then his protection spell is he ignores 3 damage, gains 1 rose, and heals 2. His other protection spell is Painful Losses. It inflicts 1 damage to each mage who does not have a tool assigned. It inflicts 2 damage to each 1 evocation. And then his protection is target mage who inflicted damage. Assigns a tool, puts the spore instability zone from the target. Very interesting. Alright, then we have Unveiled Face. Move towards the Black Rose room. Trauma 5 on each mage. Each mage who does not have a tool assigned loses a rose and draws a card. Bloodlust, move towards the room. Mend 3 on each mage. Start the first player following the turn order. Each mage who has a tool chooses 1. Inflict 2 damage to a model 2 space yourself, or place 2 instability. It's kind of like a back and forth. Like having the tool is bad sometimes, because it's going to do extra damage or do extra effects, but other times you're gaining points if you have a tool. So it's not really like, oh, try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. Sometimes it's better to have it. Suffocated Scream. Move towards the room. Trauma 3 on each mage. 1 from the target assigns a tool to them. Draw and resolve a quest. Collective End. Gain 1 point for each mage who has a tool assigned. Trauma 4 on each mage who does not have a tool assigned. Inhuman Murmuring. Priority 3, activate. Trauma 4 on each mage, 1 from the target, and draw a card. Incurable Disease. Mend 5 and activate. Unutterable Verses. Draw and resolve 1 quest to the current move. Place 3 instability in a room, 5 trauma on each mage, and assign a tool. Hideous Music. Move towards a room. Trauma 3 on each mage. Assign a tool to each mage, and each mage does not have a tool. Loses a rose. Voices of Carcosa. Target the evocation with the highest attack in the bag. Value in the lodge, it activates under the control of +2. Trauma 5 on the owner of the target, and then assign a tool. Those are just getting worse. Card mage who inflicted damage. 5 trauma on each mage, 1 space from the target, assign a tool to the target. And Springs of Cilia. Place 2 instability on each room. 1 away. Each mage who does not have a tool assigned to remove 2 of their instability from the room of their choice. Mage inflicted damage places 1 instability from the room for each damage suffered. Trauma 5. Interesting. So the target the mage who inflicted damage. Place 1 instability in a room where the target. Oh, you get to place 1 for each one they suffered. I thought it was the target gets to place them. This trauma mending thing is very interesting. It kind of sucks because, again, if you have limited cubes, doing anything with extra stuff like the jinxes or there's some other stuff like various quests or different things. We'll see our chain quest is kind of one that works like that too. or paths, some of these different things like that. Anything that uses up more and more of your cubes gives you less and less options, and plus if you have enough spaces, you can only spread so many of them around. So this just makes it harder for you to rebirth things when they keep taking all your cubes away. Face of Unbalance. This is our last set. Move towards the Black Rose. Each mage loses 1 point. Trauma 4 on each mage. Each mage does not have a tool. Discards a solved quest. Mass Hysteria. Inflicts 3 damage to each evocation. Each mage who has a tool assigned heals 3 on themselves. Each mage who does not have one discards 1 card from their ready slot. Yes, like right here. Having it is very helpful versus not having it. But then we have Canonical. Guard resolve 1 quest from the current week. Trauma 3 on each mage. 1 space from up. Assign a tool for each mage. 1 from himself. Opening Doors. Only if only if on the Haster avatar if there are 3 or more trophies, the Rose immediately wins the game. Dang. I don't even know how you get around that, right? Because it says during every cleanup step, if he has a trophy, or if you have the thing, he gains a trophy, right? So, like, if you're trying to avoid this, it literally means, like, you're gonna probably have to just take damage to mend, unless he's done a bunch of trauma to you already. But even still, if he's done too much trauma, you might not be able to mend enough. You can only mend 6. If he's done 7, you're still gonna have to. Interesting. I mean, you could do it twice, I guess, but then you end up taking like 5 damage. Yeah, it's a very interesting combination. Obsessive Search. Places 2 instability in each 1 room away from the target, assigns a tool to each one, and draws a new card. Losing the Soul. 3 activate. Trauma 3 on the target. Each mage uses 1 rose and draws a card. Ancient Knowledge. Place 4 instability. If on Haster's avatar there was 3 trophies, gain 5 roses. So that one's not so bad. It does suck, but that's not ending the game. Primordial Strength. Inflict 2 damage. With 1 damage to each mage, 1 space away as a target has a tool assigned. With 2 damage to each mage, 2 space away does not have 1 assigned. Source of Cilia. Each mage who has 1 assigned gains 1 rose. If Haster's on the avatar card, gains 3, gains 5 rose. Mage, ignore 3 damage, put 3 damage to each mage, 2 space who has an assigned thing. So yeah, this is kind of the thing. Sometimes you can gain points or gain little extra benefits, or you get less of a damage if you have the tool attached to you. But the thing is, you don't want the tool attached because mending it does get you some bonuses, but it's also you're gonna have to worry about him getting them trophies, and that can also, if he gets both of them 5 cards and he has 10 more points, that's gonna push him right towards the victory a lot quicker. And then we have Final Truth. It's our last one. Targets the evocation with the highest attack. It activates under control the Black Rose, both 4 attack instead. Protectionist. Target mage who inflicted damage. Place 1 instability in the room for each target's damage suffered. Assign a tool to the target, and then Trauma 5. Again, like Trauma 5, it's like, okay, that's not bad. You mend for 6 on your turn, right? You have to take 1 point of damage. It's probably worth it, but that's probably why they did it like that. Because they want you to feel like, I'll take that point of damage to get that off there so you can't get that treasure. Versus just letting it happen. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun, interesting guy to fight against. Alright, so before we move on to the last part of the new stuff, we also have his legendary scenario. We want to face against Haster's Fallen Steps. Place a purple room other than the throne room with the skull throne room sit there in opposite positions. Then turn them over to the rebuilt side. Place a corresponding activation token on each of these rooms. Interesting. So you want to flip both of the throne rooms. You have 2 of them out, and you're going to flip both of them over. Once the step is complete, place the second moon on the 5th slot. so it activates a little bit quicker. The next one on the 14th, so actually it's a lot quicker, and then put the other one on 33. Interesting, yeah, so that's kind of neat. And then now you can use your new little tokens to do that as well. Scenario rules. The following rules apply. Chosen one. On step 2 of the cleanup phase, a player who has a crown gains 1 rose. Enlightening, a mage gets the crown. Once they resolve the effect that allows them to get it, they may perform introspection without exhausting a physical action token and quest change. If a mage draws a quest that requires use of a purple room not in the lodge, the mage may reveal the quest card, discard it, and draw a new one. Okay. So in case you, it's like something that would specify, like, whatever, the pleasure room, and you got rid of the pleasure room. Honorable mention, another game, a mage with yellow brand token assigned gains 2 points. Cool. So I like these. They're just little minor changes to the base rules just to make it a little bit different. Yeah, so there's going to be the setup for the multiple players. You're going to see we have 2 purple crown rooms now. Interesting design. I mean, just replacing it for this mode, it actually adds it in there. Alright, then we have a brand new mechanic. We have chain quests. Chain quests are a system of public quests which all mages can participate in during the course of the game. These rules are introduced in the chapter of chain quests in a new way, which mages can regain wards. Chain quests can be included in any Black Rose War game and additional modules. To do so, in step 7, choose how many and which chain quests to include. For each one, take all chain quest cards with the same name, and then proceed the indicated below. Place all chain quest cards on one side of the table so that the condition side showing circuit cards forming a row so your quest numbers are following in order. Okay, so we have a quest number at the top. So we have quest 1 through whatever it's going to be, the name of the quest. So all the names should be the same, yep, for each different color. Completion condition, what you have to do to complete it, and cube slot. Now the back is we have a reward side. Alright, so how does this work? At any time during the game, when a mage meets the completion condition of a chain quest, turn to its condition side. Mage may place one of their own cubes on the leftmost slot that is not already occupied by a cube. In a game of 3 players, a chain quest is considered complete when a mage places a cube on the first slot showing the treasure symbol from the left player. In a game of 4 or more players, it's considered when it places it on the cube from the second one. Okay, so they have a 3 to 4 player or 5 players. So there's extra cube slots if you're playing with more players. When at least one chain quest is complete, wait until the current effect, depending is fully resolved. Then each complete chain quest is solved. Start with the leftmost chain quest, proceeding to the left. To solve a chain quest, proceed as indicated. Take all cubes off of it. Turn the card over to the reward side. Start with the first player who proceeding in turn, or each player places one of their cubes. Gets the effect. Each mage takes their cubes, places it back on the place, and puts them back in the pool. Very simple. Note, please note, an avatar never places one of their cubes on there, even if they meet a completed condition. Cool. So, we have, to start off, we have a link to the past. So let's jump in and look at what these do. So for a link to the past, it says, you draw 1 quest on the first moon due to an effect. So then when 2 people have done it in a 3 or 4 player game, or 4 people. So it could be the same person does it multiple times, and then they get the effect multiple times. Otherwise, you have other guys to kind of share it. Then we have quest 2. You draw a quest in the second or third moon due to an effect. So this one you can't even do until you get to the second or third area. Link to the past 3. When you draw a card from your grimoire due to an effect. When you draw a card from your memories due to an effect. Or finally, when you have a card in your hand equal to your hand size. Neat. So what do each one do then? So as we complete the first one, we get Mage to draw 2 cards from the library. We complete the second one. We get the Mage gets to gain 2 power points. The third one, flips over. We have summoning an evocation of your choice as a health value of 3 or less. Drawing memories on number 4. We have Mage draws 1 quest from the current moon, and then the last one is draws 1 card from the Forgotten. So what's also neat about these is they form a picture. So my guess is this is a picture of the Genesis crew from Sing Tempora, which is like the original, like the earliest known story of the Nova Aetas Chronicles. So it's kind of showing some of these different characters. I would assume that's supposed to be. That might be Andromeda. That might be Ducas. I might not be right on either of those, but that's kind of cool. There's the Link to the Past. Alright. Then up next we have the Goblin's Den. You inflict at least 3 damage with a single effect. You suffer at least 3 damage from a single effect. You defeat or remove an evocation. Whenever your evocation is defeated or removed, and you gain a rose due to the defeat of a mage. So they're all so far basically the same with 2 spots. On the back side, we have, if you beat the first one, it says Mage draws 2 cards from the library. A Mage draws 1 quest of the current moon. Mage gains 2 rows. Summon an evocation of your choice from 3 has 3 health or less, and you gain 1 trophy of the target mage. And then these also form a picture of a bunch of goblins playing Black Rose Wars, which is really fun. That's a neat little node to the game. And so there's their spells and there's their table. So that's pretty fun. This could definitely be a cool mechanic. They could add like extra ones of these. These are fun little extra ones to do. Alright, then the last one actually has 6 quests instead of 5. This is Irene's quest. So Irene is one of the promo mages, or like single box mages you could have gotten in the campaign. Alright, so it says if you activate a yellow room, or have one if you activate a red room, activate a green room, activate a blue room, activate a gray room, and then activate a purple room. And then if we look at the backs, first one is model converts 3 health, place up to 2 instability, gain 2 black roses or power points, summon evocation, convert 3, and inflict 3 damage. So very simple effects, but when you get multiple people that get to do them. Back up a little bit so we can see her full picture. So very interesting. This is her looking at some sort of magic book, and you kind of see the background of one of the maps on there. So the only thing I just want to look at here is when it says it. When at least 1 chain quest is complete, wait until the current effect. If any is fully resolved, then each completed chain quest is out. Because you could do multiple in a turn. Start the leftmost one. So it sounds like you don't necessarily have to do like card 1, then card 2, then card 3. So you could do them kind of in any order as they get activated. But this could be possible if you have 2 activations in playing or anything. You might be able to activate 2 or 3 rooms in 1 turn. Or the same one twice, and you might be able to activate one of these. Alright, but that is what we have for Once Upon a Time. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out the rest of the ROTAS box and the other expansions. See you guys later. Bye.